2024 had some great whiskeys that came out. A lot were awesome, but there were some that were duds. Today I'm going to talk about my top 5 worst whiskeys of 2024. Hey everybody, I'm Tim the Suburban Dad, always trying to help you dads find some great bourbon. In 2024, I tried a lot of new bottles. Some great, which I've already talked about. Some were not great at all. Some were downright disappointing. I've got my top 5 worst bottles today, starting with Maker's Mark the Heart Release. This one is bad because I had such high hopes for this. The wood finishing series has been fantastic. Even the not so great ones were still really good. I had to hunt high and low to get this. Eventually it got to be where I could find it many places, but it took forever for me to find it. And I paid more than I should have because I was desperate. So I paid $90 for this. The reason why I don't like it is because the flavors are so weak. The flavors that are there are good, but on a scale of 1 to 10, they're at a 1.5 intensity level. Just very light, not my style at all. Definitely a disappointment from Maker's Mark. Like I said, the flavors that were there were good, just not enough oomph, despite being 112 proof. I'm gonna go in order of least offensive to most offensive today for these bottles. So the next bottle is Old Forester 117 Rum Cask Finish. So of course, 117 is their experimental series. The Rum Cask Finish did not deliver. Now if you notice, this is a 375 ml bottle, and this costs about $60. To me, this one is where the flavors got off track. It was just this funky fermented flavor instead of a nice tropical rum, fruity, coconutty flavor. There's a tiny bit of that, but most of all, it was just weird. So didn't care for it. For the price and the flavor, it was just not a good buy. I'm glad I got to try it, but kind of an ouch in terms of spending that kind of money on this bottle. Next bottle was also small and pricey. Ben Holladay Cave Collection, the Spiral Cut. Again, 375 ml. Watch the video if you haven't already. You'll understand why it makes sense that the flavor profile is too oaky. It's too oaky, it's got the drying oak, and it's just not my profile. I don't know what I had in mind going into it, but definitely not a fan of this expression. Love Ben Holladay in general, not this one. Now, for the price, it's not terrible. It's $45 for this little bottle, but I had to spend extra to get it because it was hours away, and I had a friend help coordinate to get it, and he was working with another guy who was actually bringing it from the distillery, so it was like a whole thing. Anyways, even if I had just gone to the distillery myself and picked it up easily, it still is not a great bottle. Next is a bottle that, in fairness, didn't get a bunch of hype, but in my mind I hyped it up, and that is Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. See, I thought this would be better in my mind because, first of all, I love Heaven Hill products, especially Elijah Craig. I like their toasted bourbon. That turned out okay to me. The toasted rye, I thought, man, that would be a perfect blend of spice and toasty, marshmallowy goodness. No. In fact, it was so rye forward. It was just like spice to the max. No relief from the spice at all. No marshmallowy, a little on the nose, but the palate itself was not anything but spice. I couldn't tell it was toasted at all, to be honest. For $53, it's not a terrible buy, but I'm just not a rye guy in the first place, and it just didn't deliver the way I expected. So this one's mostly on me. I just overhyped it in my brain. Whatever. You win some, you lose some. I'm sure it'll make some great old fashions. Now the last bottle, I don't even have anymore because I tried to get rid of it as quickly as possible. The most offensive bottle that I tried in 2024 was Yellowstone Toasted Finish. Funny how there's 2 toasteds in here. Oh my gosh. Again, you can watch my reaction in the video. That was an instant awful taste. Just terrible. The flavors on that bottle were just oaky. It was astringent and ethanol forward. It was like nail polish remover. I tried going back to it generously because the first experience was really rough. But I went back to it, still awful. Tried using it to infuse with fresh Bing cherries. That wasn't terrible. I used that in a mixed drink, so I diluted the flavor a couple different times, a couple different ways, and it was palatable. I did use it. I didn't just pour it down the drain. I would try giving it away before I ever did something like that to some hapless victim. But it was just truly awful. It was only 45 bucks, so at least it wasn't a huge gouge in the wallet with that kind of loss. But just the whiskey was so bad. It was so bad. What was your worst bottle that you tried in 2024? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching today, and until next time,